I don't think they're ready for this. This is different. A LA Ram podcast, not based in California, but based in Florida? Come on now. You know I had to do it. Ram Nation, stand up. It's Ramily Talk from the Playmakers Bar podcast, hosted by Darnell the Playmakers Silence. Let's talk Rams football. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your new edition of Ramily Talk from the Playmakers Blog podcast. You know me, your host, Darnell the Playmaker Silence, out here on this nice, lovely day in Jacksonville, Florida. Blue skies, white clouds. It's a good day to be a Rams fan. It's a good week to be a Rams fan. As if y'all have not noticed, we defeated the Chicago Bears on Monday Night Football. We'll look into a great defensive performance and Johnny Hekker, who did something amazing on Monday Night Football to get the Los Angeles Rams to 5-2. But we also got to look ahead to Week 8 as the final game before the bye week next week. We take another East Coast trip down to South Beach to take on Miami. This game got a little bit more important if you haven't been paying attention in the past 2 weeks, and I'll get to why. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's talk about what took place on Monday Night Football. It was the 5-1 Chicago Bears coming over to SoFi Stadium to take on the Los Angeles Rams, who were 4-2 at the time. Didn't know how the game was going to go. Bears always one of them teams we struggle with because they have a defense. And then you talking about Nick Foles is at the helm, Nick Foles the quarterback. We struggle against Nick Foles as well. So you kind of didn't know what this game was going to. But I said last week, it was a must win for the Rams. The Rams needed to beat Chicago to keep in pace of what happened, because if most of us watch Sunday Night Football, we saw where Arizona came back and beat the Seattle Seahawks and gave Seattle their first loss. So we're looking at Seattle at 5-1, Arizona at 5-2. We have to beat Chicago. We have to beat 5-2 along with the Arizona Cardinals. And plus, San Fran ain't too far behind because they destroyed New England up in New England. Jimmy Garoppolo went back home and did what he needed to do. So they at 4-3. So it leads us to the Monday Night Football game. Man, love how we started off. Playing with good offensive play calling by Sean McVay in that offense. Jared Goff was throwing the ball. Henderson and Brown was running the ball. We was getting down the field. Still got to work on finishing drives, nonetheless. But I like how we started. Defense did their thing throughout the game. I mean, 4 sacks on Nick Foles, 2 interceptions. Defense played lights out. I love what they did on defense. Matter of fact, they only gave up 3 points. The final score was Chicago 10, the Los Angeles Rams 24. The 7 points for Chicago in that 10 was a Robert Woods fumble taken back for a touchdown by Eddie Jackson. So the Chicago defense do what they always does, score more points than the offense. That's why we when we come into this game looking at Chicago, how we gonna look on offense, because that defense is something to deal with. But our defense stepped up, only gave up 3 points, got 2 turnovers, sacked Foles 4 times. And down the final, you got the Nick Foles. He shared the sack. I think it was Morgan Fox. Him and Morgan Fox shared the sack with on Nick Foles. That was one of the 4 sacks. So, Taylor Rapp got an interception. Jalen Ramsey got an interception. The only downside to the defense is that, Terrell Burris broke his ankle. So our rookie safety that we drafted from Utah, he would not be returning this season. That's the only downside to what happened. Other than that, defense played a great game. Back to the offense, Jared Goff, 20 for 23, 219, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's good. Henderson, 15 carries, 64 yards, 2 catches, 13 yards. Played well. Brown, 10 carries, 57 yards, a touchdown. Played good. Reynolds led the receiving core in this one with 4 catches, 52 yards, a touchdown. Eric had 4 catches, 20 yards, and the other touchdown from Goff. Johnny Munton, our third string tight end, because Tyler Higbee was out. He got more playing time. 3 catches, 47 yards, feeling good. Feeling real good. Did the game plan very well. Salone had a field goal block. You know, that's a continuing thing for Sam Sloman. So I say I'm gonna get to him in a bit because we got some news on that one that if you haven't heard of already, that I'm glad to let y'all know. They gave a stat on deep when the Rams defense was on the field. Throughout the second half this season of games, the Rams defense gave up 33 points together in the second half of games. That's an average. We have played 7 games. That is an average of 4.71 points allowed in the second half by this defense. Meaning you getting a field goal at the most against this defense in the second half, which is ridiculous. 4 points, maybe 5 in the second half of games. So that includes that comeback that we did against Buffalo, even though we fell short. The comeback against San Fran in the second half, even though we fell short. This defense is keeping us in the game. So if you don't jump out on us in the first half, but be prepared to get beat, because in the second half the defense slots it down. Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Kaiser plays well at times. You got Williams plays well. Hill is playing good. Rapp, who got the interception on Nick Foles on Monday night, he's stepping back up. This defense, Leonard Ford, who played his former team in Chicago, he got a sack, maybe 2. I know he got a sack. These boys are stepping up on defense in the second half. That's what I love. Brandon Staley, whatever you doing, you keep doing it. Because at least in the second half, we know our defense going to lock it down in the second half. We know second half come, it's time to lock it down. That means the offense, Sean McVay, the only problem I have with the offense and Sean McVay at this moment in time right now, the only problem, and I know most of y'all can agree with me, we got to finish. We are up, what, 24-3 at the time? Finish, put them away. Score, make it 31-3 and take the air out of the other team. Let them look at the clock. It's the fourth quarter. They just go, it's 31-3. Take the rest of the air out of them. Because when Robert Woods fumbled and Eddie Jackson scored, it's early in the fourth quarter. As all of a sudden, it's 24-10 now. There's some life there. Defense got a turnover. Defense made them punt. Defense. So the next step for the Rams, Sean McVay, is the offense. It's not getting it. You have to get off to the hot start. We need that, because these slow starts, because the slow start against Buffalo and the slow start against San Fran, our 2 losses is what cost us. Because the defense didn't give up much in the second half. I mean, we made a comeback. We just didn't finish it. That's the other thing. Finish them off on offense. When you got a team put away, put the final nail in the coffin. Give them no hope of a chance. Chicago thought they had a chance because they had a fumble return for a touchdown, and it was still like 10 minutes left, and all of a sudden it's 24-10. You're only down 2 possessions. You get a stop, get the ball back at the dog, move the ball down the field, score again. Before you know it, it's a 1-score game. Finish them off. When you have a team on the ropes, punch their lights out. That's what you have to do. Punch their lights out. Don't get conservative. We got a lead, defense playing well. No. Put the final blow to them and give the defense more of a reason to say, just go ahead and finish them off. They have no reason to believe now. Let's go ahead and just put them out of their misery. But the offense has to put them out. When you have the opportunity, put another touchdown on the board and let the air just come out of them. So the defense life is easy. It's like, oh, we know y'all ain't coming back, so y'all can throw short, we gonna stop it. You can throw short, we gonna stop it. And if you try to throw long, we gonna pick it. That's what you got to do on offense. That's what I need my offense and Sean McVay to do going forward. When the team is down and out, make sure they down and out. Now, let's get to Johnny Hekker, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny Hekker, what a performance on Monday night. Oh my God. I cannot continue on talking if I don't bring up Johnny Hekker. Johnny Hekker punted 5 times. 5 times. 5 times. Let me get my Boogie T on. 5 times. 5 times. 5 times. 5 times. Johnny Hekker punted 5 times. And guess what? All 5 of them was inside the 20-yard line. I'm saying it again. All 5 of his punts inside the 20-yard line. Better yet, let me go a step further. All 5 of his punts were either at the 10 or inside the 10. Johnny Hekker pinned Nick Foles and that Bears offense deep in a territory each and every time, including a 63-yard punt that, if I remember correctly, went out around about the 5-yard line. Or was down around about the 5-yard line. Johnny Hekker. Sean McVay said on Sports Center with Scott Van Pelt that a game ball usually don't go to a punter. That one went to a punter because Johnny Hekker did his job and he did it graciously. He did it magnificently. He did it wonderfully. He did a tremendous job on Monday night. A complete effort all around. The offense did their thing. They put up 24 points. Defense gave up only 3 points. Special team, Johnny Hekker pinned them 10 from the 10-yard line on back on all his punts. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you do. That's how you win football games. When all 3 faces are clicking on the same harmony. That's what you want. That's what you want. Now, speaking of kickers and special teamers, Salone got his field goal blocked on Monday night after the game, during the week, after I have been patches for the past 2 days. We have cut Samuel Salone, and now Kyle Fullback takes over as our kicker. I'm sorry. Sean McVay made the right choice here. I guess that's to back it up. Salone was 8 for 11 on field goals this season. That is 27 in the NFL. He was 18 for 21 on PATs. 31st in the league. Dude, you're in the bottom half of the league. Matter of fact, you're in the bottom quarter of the league in both field goals and PATs. You kick too low, man. And that's how Chicago blocked your kick. You kick too low. They know you kick low. So they know they don't even have to jump. They can just put their hands up and it's gonna block. You're gonna get blocked. Hopefully, Kyle Fullback, who's been out of the NFL for a while, worked on his kicking. He does some kicking around in the league. Hopefully, he worked on his kicking, and he's ready to step into this role and be our place kicker now. Because we need better. When it's time for us to kick field goals, we need to feel comfortable about kicking field goals. Not having to go for it because we don't have the confidence in our field goal kicker. Because most of the time, we don't need to go for it on 4th down. We just need to kick a field goal, get the 3 points, and just move on. We have a defense. Our defense is playing well. Our defense is ranked 12th in the NFL right now. Our offense is ranked 5th in the NFL right now. Get that field goal kicker right. Makes it even a little more dangerous for us. So that's what John McVay was going through. And that's what we did. So Kyle Fullback is our new kicker. Now, with that being said, let's move on because week 8. Week 8, the last game before our bye week, ladies and gentlemen. And we taking another East Coast trip. We're going to South Beach. Going down to sunny Miami. Which makes this game very important. Not only is the Miami Dolphins 3-3 and in second place in the ALC East, they bitch Ryan Fitzpatrick for Tua Tagovailoa. If y'all didn't hear that news 2 weeks ago, after they defeated the Jets 24-0, and Tua made his NFL debut in mop-up duty, yes, they had a bye week last week. They was on a bye, so they gave Tua 2 weeks to prepare. for the Los Angeles Rams. Tua coming off multiple injuries. He had a concussion, something with his nose. The main thing was the hip thing. That was the main thing. The hip was the main thing. I think it was dislocated hip. Good to see him that he recovered. Very glad to see him that he recovered. I liked him in Alabama. Great quarterback. He has the arm. He has the talent. But now, this ain't Alabama Tua. This is the NFL. And your first opponent that you will get to see as the starting quarterback of the Miami Dolphins is Mr. Defensive Player of the Year himself. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. Might be a 3rd-time Defensive Player of the Year, the way he's on the road right now. Mr. Aaron Donald, 99 for the Los Angeles Rams. By the way, just in case y'all do have a game plan, because what everybody does is double and triple between Aaron Donald, Leonard Ford, please come off that edge. Not only contain Tua, but make sure Tua gets on the ground. And if that happens and you try to scramble, Michael Brockers, go ahead and do your part on the other inside side on Aaron Donald, and make sure Tua don't get up the middle. You okay? Kaiser, my linebackers, if y'all got to spy him, don't follow the eyes. Follow the hips. Don't follow the eyes, follow the hips. The hips will lead you to the runner every time. Ramsey. Now, a couple of times in the Monday night game, you bit on some passes. Only problem was the D-line got the Nick Foles first, so he overthrew his receivers. You can't do that against Tua. Tua will find a way. Tua's a mobile quarterback. He will get out that pocket and you try to bite. And you get beat by Devontae Parker. Devontae Parker will be scoring a touchdown. So Jalen Ramsey, I need you to lock down Devontae Parker. No biting on double moves, no nothing. Because you know they're looking at that tape. They watching that tape from Monday night and they seeing that you bit twice on some double moves. And they going to use that against you. Don't bite. Pay Devontae Parker straight up. Because guess what? This is Tua first starting in the NFL. He's going to realize how fast this game's going to go. And he's going to realize Aaron Donald coming to get him. Leonard Ford coming to get him. Michael Brockers coming to get him. Morgan Fox coming to get him. Take your time. Be patient. Your pick will come. And yes, I am predicting a Jalen Ramsey pick on Sunday. Darius Williams. Continue doing what you're doing, sir. You're playing good. Continue to play good. Handle that safety spot along with John Johnson. Y'all boys, make sure these Miami receivers don't get deep. Make sure that tight end Gaskin don't get deep. Okay? The run defense. Do y'all know where we ranking in rushing yards allowed? Dude, we are good. Now, it's just don't come in here confident because it's a rookie we're going against. Tua is a dual threat quarterback. We already seen Joe Burrow, a dual threat quarterback. He can throw, he can run. He's playing well for Cincinnati. It's just the team is not that good. Justin Herbert, dual threat quarterback. He can run too. And he can sling it. He's doing good. The Chargers, that's the Chargers. What else you want me to say? Now it's Tua's turn. Tua is a dual threat quarterback. He's gonna have his moments. He's gonna make some plays. But we have to limit him. We ain't gonna stop him. We ain't gonna shut him down. Just limit him because we got the offense. Miami got a defense too. Miami defense ranked 8th in the NFL. They ranked 8th. They got a defense too. But they ain't see an offense like this. Yeah, they did what they did to San Francisco. We know that 43-16 beating that they gave the 49ers in San Fran. But Jimmy Garoppolo was just coming back. Raheem Morris was just coming back. Deebo Samuel was just coming back. We ain't been injured like this. Yes, we lost Burgess for the year. By the way, give it up to Terrell Lewis. On that 4th and 1 play that he made on Cordero Patterson. That's what I'm talking about. Terrell Lewis. Oh, he know about Tua. They played together. They know each other. Terrell Lewis, go ahead and help your boy. Welcome him to the NFL the proper way for us. Please, Terrell Lewis. We've been waiting to see you play. And don't worry. Alshon Robinson, he's almost ready to play. It's gonna be after the bye week. We can wait. But Alshon Robinson, he'll be in the lineup after the bye week. Trust me, this defense ain't near close to being fulfilled yet. And we already ranked in the top 12. Oh, wait till after the bye week. After the bye week, we coming. And by the way, speaking of after the bye week, we have the toughest schedule remaining, including this game with the Miami Dolphins. We got them. We have the Seahawks twice. We have the Cardinals twice. We have New England on a Thursday night. We have Tampa on a Monday night. We got San Fran again, and we got the Jets. You can take the Jets out of there, and we still got the toughest remaining schedule left. So don't worry. The second half of the season is going to show what we are really made of. But right now, at this moment in time, let's go welcome Tua Tagovailoa to the NFL in the most proper way that we can do. How? Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, Terrell Lewis, Sebastian Day, Joseph Sebastian Day. Let's go ahead and let's get this done, fellas. Let's get it done. Ram Nation, let's go. Whew. It feels good when you get to record after a win. It just feels good to record after a win. But with that being said, Tyler O, he got your Ram Fantasy talk for this matchup with the Miami Dolphins. So stay tuned to that, and we're gonna get ready to close it out. Go ahead, Tyler.
Welcome to Week 8 of Rams Fantasy Talk. I'll be your host, Tyler Ordinsky. As always, this will be a quick one. We're about to hit Week 8, halfway through the fantasy season, and by now, some things are abundantly clear. For example, how the Rams intend on winning football games. They are the NFL's best rushing offense, ranking number 1 in DVOA, and this is no longer a three-headed monster. It's still a running back by committee, but it's very clear that Henderson is the lead by just a little bit, and he's being spelled consistently by Malcolm Brown. Akers just isn't seeing the field. He's more of an insurance, a handcuff, what have you. I still would roster Akers, but he's by no means so startable whatsoever. This is a Henderson-Malcolm Brown split. While the split is clear, Henderson is still seeing the majority of the goal line touches, contrary to what you might think after watching Monday Night Football. We are treating Henderson as an every week RB2 and Malcolm as a very weak flex play. Malcolm Brown should only be started if you're in a serious pinch due to injury or bye weeks. You still probably have him on your bench as a depth piece if something happens to Henderson, but at the same time, I'm not confident starting Malcolm Brown at any point in time. However, I am confident starting Henderson up going forward every single week. Myself, like many other people, do find this Henderson usage a bit frustrating, as seen on Monday by most of the nation. Henderson is a very electric runner. In fact, he is currently PFF's highest graded running back on the year. Obviously, PFF got to be taken with a grain of salt. It's not the end all be all, but this is definitely a positive for Henderson and your fantasy teams. He's a great runner and he's flashed. I really like what I've seen out of him thus far. And fun fact, Henderson has gone for a first down or a touchdown on 35% of his rush attempts this year. Again, taken with a grain of salt because he isn't given a full workload, but it tells me two things. One, they're using him on the goal line. I've talked about that. And two, they use him in important situations when they need first downs. Henderson is their go-to back. They just don't want to use him too much. Frustrating for fantasy, but I can understand from McVay's point of view. You don't want to use him the entire time. Malcolm Brown's capable. Either way, Henderson is the guy. I would feel especially confident firing up Henderson this week. They're playing the Dolphins. Not only are the Rams a 3.5-point away favorite, the Dolphins are a pretty strong pass defense this year. These aren't the Dolphins of old. This is arguably a top 16 team. However, the Dolphins, while they're strong against the pass, they're not very strong against the run. They're 23rd DVOA against the run so far this year. So as you might have guessed, this sets up well for the run-heavy Rams. The Rams should have their way with the Dolphins defense, running the ball. I'd like to think it goes through Henderson, but again, we're not entirely sure. But just start Henderson. It's that easy. Shifting gears a bit, as I mentioned, the Rams are a running football team multiple times and away favorites and playing a tough pass defense. This doesn't necessarily bode well for Kupp and Woods. You start them, but the Rams are a running football team, as I've said a million times, and they're also not really throwing the deep ball at all. They're averaging 7.3 yards per pass attempt. That is quite shallow. The Rams play a strong defense, keep the ball on the ground. play the short passing game. This does not lend itself well for Goff, Woods, or Kupp. PPR leagues, I wouldn't worry too much about Kupp or Woods, but you have to be concerned about their upside at this point. They're both low ceiling wide receiver 2s going forward. In fact, if one of them does pop off a long TD, I would consider trying to trade them away. Those 16 plus fantasy weeks from Kupps and Woods are going to be few and far between. The floor, however, is fine. They're not going to kill you when you start them every week, but I would not expect those big boom weeks like we've seen in the past. This is, again, a running football team, short passes, not a lot of wide receiver 1 weeks in the future for Kupp or Woods going forward. No need to reiterate what I've already said, but this is not a game you want to start Goff in any single QB leagues. In fact, if for some reason you have Goff in a single QB league, I would much rather start Derek Carr or Jimmy G over Goff this week. Sincere apologies. This is the first podcast you're hearing as I've been pounding the table to trade away Tyler Higbee for the past 3 weeks. You likely can't get anything for him at this point, and it's no secret Gerald Everett is back. Higbee's blocking, and the Rams are just not a passing team. None of this really works out well for Tyler Higbee. They're not using Higbee on third downs. They're not using him in 2-minute situations. Gerald Everett's getting enough of the pie where Higbee just isn't a fantasy player, to be completely honest with you. Higbee, I don't see him as a top 18 tight end. And that's the sad truth of it. I would cut my losses. If you can't trade Higbee, I would rather have Logan Thomas, Eric Ebron, Mike Gesicki, or Robert Tonyan going forward. Higbee is not a reliable fantasy football tight end. Obviously, the Rams' defense special teams is a strong play. The Dolphins, Tua's first start. I love Tua, but this is a pretty terrible first start for Tua against a very strong Rams defense, especially a Rams defense that has been great in limiting the pass. There you have it. That is week 8 of Rams Fantasy Talk. Follow me on Twitter at FFTylerO. Don't forget, tell somebody you love them. Later.
All right, Tyler, thank you for that. Catch Tyler O for your rest of your fantasy talk. Week 8, he got you covered. He's giving out good information. Catch him, Fire on High Podcast on all podcast platforms. Check it out. Make sure you do that. With that being said, we 5-2. Let's get to 6-2 before we hit to this bye week. And thankfully, the bye week is on the week of my birthday, so I'm going to enjoy in my birthday whether I have to watch the Rams play. Because I need the week off. I want to take the week off. No, I'm still going to recap Miami game. But I ain't going to look forward to no other game until week 9. So, enjoy that. I get with y'all next week to recap what took place in Miami. And we might do a little preview of the entire second half to get us ready for what's coming up when we get ready to take on the Seattle Seahawks for the first time this season. So with that being said, you know me, Darnell the Playmaker signing from Jacksonville, Florida. Signing off on Ramily Talk till next week. Deuces.